Obviously, there's a need for nationwide operators who can provide coast-to-coast, border-to-border coverage. But the need for regional carriers, I think, goes to what I touched on earlier, the fact that with enough competition, the market has an opportunity to provide checks and balances on itself. As we've seen more consolidation, we've seen a need for more input from the federal regulators to make sure that we have those checks and balances. Specifically, when you look at a company like C Spire, I think of things like Hurricane Katrina, which struck several years back in our service area, the flooding in the Mississippi River that happens periodically. In particular, last year we had a severe bout of flooding, and even tornadoes that sweep across the southeast that make nationwide news. For one of the large operators, an area that we cover can represent 1%, a 0.5% of their customer base. But in our area, that's 100% of our customer base. And we've been in business for almost 25 years now. And one thing that we've learned in our 25 years in business is that the largest operators typically follow us when we go out to these harder to reach areas. So we get to be there first, we get to deliver service, but the fact that we're there also brings competition in some of these areas. Now in other areas, certainly in portions of the Mississippi Delta, it's one of the poorest regions in our country. Year after year, the plight of the Delta makes national news, and it unfortunately contains some of the poorest people in our country. We have gone out to the Mississippi Delta and deployed 3G services and intend to deploy 4G services as soon as we can, and in many instances provide those people who live at or below the poverty line with the one connection they have to the internet and e-commerce and e-learning. That device that they have is more than just a luxury to them or a convenience to them. It's the one link that they have to high-speed data and to everything that the internet brings to you and me that we take for granted. We do it at competitive prices as well. Typically our pricing is lower than you'd see from the quote-unquote nationwide carriers. We offer
I've noticed
plans.
you guys are offering the iPhone for $149, where everybody else is still at $200.
That's right, and we'll even offer the iPhone 4 at $75, the 4S at $149. With service plans that can be as little as half of what our competitors charge.